Whoa!
It's 10 o'clock.
Hi, I'm Gary. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your parents are? Welcome to Fladge Rants Live. I'm going to get the name of the show right one of these days. What are we debunking today? Matrices? Got a Mount Rushmore for you. Stearns and Foster, Serta, Sealy, Beauty Rest. How's that? Did I get it right? I got new merch. Bam! Look at that. This is the 5X. Jug left his shirt here. So I'm wearing it as a dress.
We're going to auction it off at the end.
Holy cow. It's got a lot of coverage here. Okay, that was cool. So, no, I was kidding. We're doing matrices, or matrices as the commoner would pronounce it, or matrices.
Rice mats.
I want to start out with non-player characters. There's a line of thinking in some I want to call them spiritual communities that think there are non-player characters in this simulation we're living in, and I just want to go on record and say, no, there aren't.
No.
In case you don't know what non-player characters are, it's like in a video game where you're walking around the street in the little video game and you talk to a stranger and they have pre-programmed things that they say and they can't give you any more information than what they're programmed to do. And so what these NPCs in real life are doing is the same thing. They're following a program and we're in a simulation. Also, for the record, I want to point out the fact that if we are truly in a simulation, and I've seen I've heard the arguments, I've looked at the probability, and if there are going to be simulations, there are going to be more simulations than real base reality, and therefore, by the odds, we are, of course, in a simulation. That does not change our situation. Let me repeat that. If we are, in fact, living in a simulation, that is, in fact, our reality, and it is no different than we thought it was. If anybody has a problem with that, I will defend my position. I am always prepared to defend my position or convince me otherwise. And Brady, what will I say?
I'm on mute too. What do you always say?
There was a button. It took me 19 weeks to come up with this.
You'll never say it again?
You were right.
No,
I was
no
wrong.
need.
I apologize. That. Get me to say that. So you don't like Stearns and Foster?
No.
I've got a Serta, right? So the Matrix. Are we living in the Matrix, boys? Are we debunking this? How are we gonna tackle this?
Is Gary the one?
I'm the one. I took the red pill.
There's the NPCs.
Was it a suppository?
Yeah. I think I watched that video. That guy was cuckoo bananas nuts. But yeah, so they're supposed to be soulless. Do you guys know my stance on souls?
It's a different matrix.
You are 4 souls? 2 souls? 1 soul? 0 souls?
Yeah. I've seen no evidence. Convince me otherwise.
That's why they call it faith, dumbass.
Energy is energy, regardless of what it is. Cannot be created or destroyed.
Yep, I agree, and I know your argument. I know that stance, and it doesn't hold any water.
Well, it does, because it's a law of physics.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it doesn't.
It actually holds way more water than anything you have to say about that. Well, it does not create a soul. You don't know. You can't prove against it. I can only prove for it. So there's no debating that. You have zero evidence. I at least have the laws of physics.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Ask all the professional physicists.
Just because something transfers to energy doesn't mean it's necessarily energy in the form of a soul. That's a conclusion.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a non sequitur. He's not actually explaining what he thinks he's explaining.
But I agree.
Right.
I agree there is a soul, but I don't think that's enough evidence.
The term afterlife.
Right, he's on your side, bro. He's trying to help.
Doesn't matter what that is. It's like the term up north is up north. The term afterlife. The term up north is just up north. The term afterlife is just afterlife. It's
right.
If we're just going to stick with labels,
the only thing I've ever experienced is life.
There's also proper names for regions, like up north.
But back to these non-player characters, these soulless shells. Go ahead. You can conduct a study yourself. Take a survey. Talk to, really get to know as many people as you think it takes to figure out that, in fact, all of them have a deepness of thought that every one of us has. You are unique. You are special, just like everybody else.
Can I contemplate?
Yeah.
If there are infinite universes or whatever this is called, in one of those universes, wouldn't there have to be souls?
No. Why would there have to be souls?
Because there has to be every possibility of everything in every section and Y off of everything.
Doesn't make a soul possible.
Wouldn't they just be program data?
Anything you can possibly think of would have had to have happened. People think the alternate universe is like making a right or a left, but it's not. It's making every nth of every degree of every decision of every color of every choice, making every possibility so much so that you can't even see it in the abyss. Therefore, everything exists.
Okay. You know what? And then if you think reincarnation exists, or if you think this kind of heaven or hell exists,
not in this universe, but in one of them,
does truly exist because you came up with it. I guess, in a manner of speaking, sure. Well, I guess we haven't explained ourselves with this.
9 minutes before the multiverse went to religion.
Right. Okay, so in space-time, I don't see any reason for space-time not to be infinite. Now, and if space is infinite in even one direction, and time is infinite in only one direction, it makes a lot of paradoxes. It gets real screwy right there. What we're talking about it creates there's no reason for now to even exist. It would be arbitrary. But in a universe of infinite time, infinite space, everything will happen over and over and over infinitely. And that's why I do think that the multiverse, the matrices, are real. there's another me explaining this to another you, and hopefully the other ones are getting it.
I don't get how you can make that claim, but you completely refute the fact that this energy that in this multiverse is there's no repeatability, there's no bleed over of energy, there's no reconstruction of any type of either consciousness or non. You would still think that it's some type of carryover of energy, and I would attribute that to some type of representative of us as a being, which could be interpreted as a soul type object.
And with the concept of this show, with every possibility, that would have to exist in one of those universes.
But the me that I define as me is this body with this brain, and the energy that it's burning, not just consuming, but passing around, and that makes me work, stops functioning at the point of death. There is no afterlife. I'm sorry, jerks. It makes you feel better, but it is a lie that you have convinced yourself. Sorry, it's not real.
Not in this observable universe, possibly, but absolutely the opposite.
An entity from this universe.
Everything has to exist. If we're talking about the multiverse, wait, are we talking about the multiverse or the many worlds interpretation? Because we have to establish that first. Or are we talking matrices?
Let's talk all three. And I don't think there's any difference between the multiverse and the many world interpretation of quantum physics. Quantum mechanics naturally leads to many worlds interpretation. Many worlds interpretation describes the multiverse. And if you don't get a good night of sleep, you might as well bag the whole thing.
Good night.
Good night.
As above, so below.
Yay! Finally, what I want to do.
We're all gonna go get a good night's sleep. Contemplate Jerry's. What's your name? Gary's nonsense.
Oh, he goes by Jerry.
I was
going to call you Jackass, and I bailed at the last second.
There is some bleed over that I believe in, and that's the Mandela effect. Some of my false memories are.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that. Why aren't those universes observable from this observable universe? And so the Mandela effect might be one example of that. Go ahead.
Let me step back and take a running leap on this one. Did you know that your subconscious is a lot smarter than your conscious mind?
No, but my subconscious knew that.
Are they the same thing?
Exactly. I am not conscious of some of the things I know. I cannot tell you if, in fact, that is part of what?
I'm talking to myself. I said, why am I so fucking blurry? You look great.
Right. Oh, yeah, you are blurry. At least I'm not as red as I was last week.
All blurry.
Listen, my subconscious might be fluent in Cantonese. It really might be. I might know Chinese and not even know I know Chinese. There's the known knowns, the unknown knowns, the known unknowns, and the known unknown. No.
And the
I got that all wrong.
No.
Yes, that's there too.
No.
But I don't remember my dreams, and so there's this whole mental activity that I am not fully conscious of that is transpiring inside my body. I have to say, if it's me, if it's part of my physical body, it's part of me, but it's not part of my conscious being. And there are people that are better at tapping into that and people that are worse. I'm probably worse. And now I've brought up Dolores Cannon before because she talks about non-player characters, or did before she died. God rest her soul. And she seemed to be better at tapping into the subconscious, not of hers, of maybe people she hypnotized. That's why on one of these shows we got to get a hypnotist in here, put me under, see what my subconscious knows. So anyway, if the pineal gland is transmitting and picking up signals from other sources. It might be other us's sending and receiving information, and that's where I think the Mandela effect comes from. Boys?
So it's not CERN?
They have something to do with it.
I was trying to find
They
an
messed up
NPC. I wasn't sure if we're going like full NPC. There was a lot of like large compilation videos that I was trying to avoid. I'm trying to find one that I saw that was decently interesting that goes along with that NPC thing, but I don't know. It's interesting.
I think retarded people are as close as we get to NPCs.
I guess so, but I still feel like some of them are PCs because they need a handler. So
right, yeah. Don't they need more help than the rest of us?
Right.
So, well,
they need
what
a player
they're saying,
to control them in order for them to eat and shit and get dressed.
Right. Well, what's tied in with all this? The reason I chose NPCs for my opening rant is because I could rant about that, because that is screwed up thinking. Like you're saying that person is lesser than you because you don't know what's going on in their head. So you're claiming that there's nothing. And well, you're wrong. You're wrong. Dead wrong. Those are fully functional people. And if you just got to know them, you'd realize you're dead wrong and keep going. Go to the next NPC you suspect, and they're fully functional, normal humans as well.
That's a point.
But this is all tied in with the recycled soul theory, where if you were terrible in one life, you come back and you're tortured, like you're punished in the next life, and that's what Dolores Cannon believed in, and that is also nonsense.
I have some Dolores Cannon.
I mean, if there is a recycled soul or part of us that gets recycled, if there was a part of, I don't know what was, I think I wasn't unmuted, but if there was a part of us that was recycled that potentially would be a soul, I don't know, repeating this over and over again it might be hellish to a lot of folks, because not everyone gets to be born in this country or with, middle class. Even like the amount of people that get born middle class is like so small. People don't realize.
It's like they won the lottery.
Well, throughout time, like 90% of human existence has been miserable.
Plain less, you millennials. Fucking spoiled pieces of entitled shit.
Oh, wait.
I like
tell your kids. Tell your kids.
I like we are part of everything. That's what got me down the Dolores Cannon rabbit hole. She has some great things to say. We are part of everything.
Why should anybody care?
Oh shit.
We're all one anyway. We're all part of each other. No one.
We're part of each other.
They think they're alone. Nobody is ever alone. They have never been alone since the moment they were born.
Remind me to comment on
There's
that NPC
someone
thing.
there to take care of them and
I'm gonna be right
them.
back.
And we're all part of each other, which they don't understand. We're part of everything. Every single thing there is alive. It's all consciousness, even down to the tiniest blade of grass. Everything is all connected. All of nature, all of the environment, all of the people. There is no good.
This is more than
no
anything
bad.
what
It's
Gary
only
means when he says
energy
as above,
being
so
used in
below.
different directions.
Yeah.
And once we understand that, we
He's
can
not
understand the
satanic.
problems
Those
these
comments
people are
were
facing,
ridiculously
the circumstances they are caught up
unnecessary
into.
and untrue.
That makes them do the different things. But I care because we have to learn to care about each other.
But I also
We are
respect
all one.
everyone's right to say
We're
it.
all part of each other.
Whatever it is.
And that takes a
ridiculous
whole
or
different
untrue.
way of looking at it for a lot of people, because they see themselves as all alone, as an individual with their individual problems. But we're not. We're one world. We're one body. And we are all connected to the source, to God, because we all are walking along the same path. We just see it in different ways. And it's time to let all the other go so that we can go into this new direction. And that's why I care about it, because it seems like that's my mission now, is to tell people these things all over the world to give knowledge and information to them, so at least they can think. I always tell people, don't believe what I say. Don't believe what anybody else says. Ask lots and lots of questions. Then make up
Ask
your own
everything.
mind.
Question everything.
My truth may
I'm about
not
to
be your
question why he
truth.
has a fucking rainbow
Find your own
freaking furry
truth.
outfit.
And when you do, it's your truth. Maybe others
That's
won't
great.
understand it, they won't believe it, but it's your truth. Don't give your
Your
sorry for
truth.
stepping
No,
on-
see,
I'm sorry
now
for
she
stepping
had
on
me
you.
till
For
then. Hold
yourself.
on. There's only one
Your
truth.
truth.
There's not your truth, my truth, his truth, theirs truth. There's only one truth. I don't mean religiously. I just mean logically and evidently.
I think we just debunked objective truth.
So hold on,
Objective
though.
reality.
NPC. You were talking about NPCs. From a programmer standpoint,
will
that
be-
wasn't meant to be established to the real world. That was just a bunch of elite people that decided to label normal people, normies, as NPCs. If you had, in the beginning when video games came out, they rendered everything, even the stuff you didn't see, every thought that they had, they tried to make it all in the game, and it would just bog down. So they started taking out anything that wasn't important, including anything that was behind, like the car. It wouldn't render that, including this particular NPC's thoughts. If it didn't matter, it wasn't programmed in there. If there's a matrix or we're in a many worlds or multiverse, chances are, if you don't need it, it's not true. It doesn't exist. It's not programmed. Plus,
Very interesting.
Memory sucks. We mentioned memory on that one. If it was in tissue or in chemical or magnetic or what the fuck it was, it's just ones and zeros in a matrix, according to this episode.
Well, I'm glad you stepped on frickin' Rose from the Titanic here, because she said something that when it comes, she's about to throw the jewel over the water. She's about to. So when it comes to universal consciousness, where do you guys sit with that?
You mean like we all are aware of the same thing?
No, just that they're like, I mean, think of it like connections in your brain, right? There's different parts of your brain that are firing, and I don't know, electrical signals that get passed from one section to another. There could be a type of harmony, or however faggoty term you want to put to it, when it comes to the harmony of the universe, and because shit does play off of each other. We don't understand how the universe even works, so there could just be a underlying brain type. I don't know. I'm doing a terrible job explaining it, but I think you guys get what I'm talking about.
Yes, if there is an overlying collective consciousness, I don't recognize the mechanism by which it is collected. If we're just a library of experiences, where does it get uploaded, downloaded? What's going on with that?
I mean, does it
probably wireless? If it's evolved technology, it's wireless. We wouldn't see it.
Because does it realize how pivotal it is for the ecosystem that it thrives in? No. So it has no. That's an NPC, if anything.
Bees are very driven. What causes that drive?
Freaking firing of I don't know, neurons.
Maybe it's that universal consciousness. It's some people call it inherent.
If we
some
are
people
part of
call
a collective consciousness and it isn't collected, then it doesn't change our situation. We're still just independent consciousnesses, and we're just trying to look at it as a collection, but it's not a true collection that can be re-experienced in any sense.
A lot of praying, that's where praying comes from, is a collective consciousness all wishing for a better outcome. And there is potential weird evidence of willing things into existence. We kind of mentioned this before.
It's a placebo effect, but really prayer has been demonstrated to be false. Like it doesn't help more than chance.
I don't know.
It never goes away. When I ask God, it always goes away when I hydrate.
Well, our competition.
And I believe in God, by the way. Sorry.
Hit me with our competition. I'm interested.
Not yet, but our religious competition,
okay.
That gentleman thinks
awesome,
that he...
Gary.
Yeah, no, you're doing great.
Ours
I'm surprised.
like shit for
Must be a
reason.
clear night. Yours looks like shit. Mine looks fucking gorgeous. Look at that shit.
Well, I have a present for drawer that he didn't open, and it's wrapped in aluminum foil. So I'm using it as a pedestal and an antenna.
Okay,
so it's sitting on Drawer's hat and shirt. Oh shoot! I gave away the surprise.
You better not be smushing the hat. I don't like a frumpy hat.
It's in a box wrapped in aluminum foil, like shiny metallic wrapping paper with your government name on it.
That's my
we all
dead
passed
name.
it around and took it behind the barn for a round.
It's awesome.
We did.
I
What's the
gonna like it
sticky
more
white
now.
goop?
All right,
Yeah.
Brady's got this queued up. This is the video. So I didn't know we were going full NPC, and I wasn't sure if that, like, I don't know good videos, but I did run across this. I thought it was decently interesting. Click the wrong
thing.
Sticking with the simulation theory, here's another odd one from
If it
TikTok
glitches,
user
speaking
Knuckleball
of glitching in the
Twins.
Matrix,
I
you
love
can
glitches.
post the link in the chat and I can play it smoother.
This guy disappear? Oh, is he running into the wall like an NPC?
Clip shows a group of people acting rather odd.
Yeah, they're just being weird and they're acting very robotic. They're like looking in this mirror, and then they're like the weird steps that they're taking is very.
As the video
oddly
continues, even more
specific.
individuals are seen wandering the streets, seemingly
Probably a freaking
entranced,
one of those,
robotic in nature.
Spontaneous.
They're all kind of walking the
skits that they do.
same pace, the same distance. They're all going up to this window. I don't know what the fuck's in that window.
The video's
but-
peculiarity has
Did you
sparked
see
a
the
flurry
video?
of
The
debate and
teacher slapped the
speculation,
student making the
drawing
rounds, and it
parallels
turns
to the
out it was a
previous
skit.
glitch in the Matrix video we just
what I
watched.
think.
Many
Oh,
TikTok
nice.
users are now championing the idea
Or like
that
the
such
one wing of
footage
the
is
plane
evidence
when it
of our
hits the 9/11,
existence
when
within
it
a
hits the World
simulation.
Trade Center. That's just a camera artifact.
Yeah.
I think that's a skit. I'm just too skeptical. Everything sucks to me.
Yeah. 9/11 was a big skit.
Well, there was that one picture where they
No,
show
that's
the
what kinda
plane
sucked
from
about
far away
going-
from a camera from 2001, and the wing disappears for a second right before it hits the plane. But you can tell if anybody that knows anything about
9/11?
cameras, the artifacting with the windows. But people say that look, the wing disappeared when the projection or whatever they think that the plane wasn't.
9/11? You're not. You're a
Yes.
no planer.
Oh, I'm a planer. I'm skeptical of the no planers video footage that they. Anytime
So
there's
I
a
did
camera
mention-
artifact, they say, "Oh, it's a spook."
Well, that's where I was going a little bit too, because I was looking up simulation glitches, and there's like car crashes that a car hit an invisible thing, and when it comes to technology nowadays, if it was an older video and this was 15 years ago, I go, okay, that seems kind of believable. Nowadays, it's like, yeah, you could easily edit the other car out. I'm sure with a fucking iPhone app, they got all kinds of easy shit nowadays. It's really hard to find a video where I'm just not sitting there going, this is probably bullshit.
Yep. Even if it's not intentional, the glitches that happen anyways, I just chalk it up to that until I see something with my own two eyes in my own backyard or front yard or out of my own window. I don't buy it.
Well, going to the 9/11 thing, I for no reason just rewatched the entire news broadcast from that morning, New York footage, and I don't think the planes really should have fallen, but I'm one who believes that they did other stuff, that there was bombs in the basement. They were
Absolutely.
trying to do more shit. There was explosions. There is the theory of the $2.3 trillion that all of a sudden disappeared. And when it comes to that amount of money, 2,000 lives, that ain't shit. You know, if you've got that kind of money, you can kill 2,000 people easily. So I don't know.
Especially if you're going to lose that kind of money because you just bought a building and got fucked by buying a bad building that you realize is going to cost billions to fix. Suddenly you think, ooh, insurance scam.
I don't know that part of the conspiracy. Not to like dive too far away.
The guy that opened the $2.6 billion insurance policy that I thought you were always referring to when you said that amount of money. The guy bought the building like a year before all this shit happened, found out that it was in disrepair, and he blew it up. That's what I think happened. And then somebody heard he was going to do it. And instead of stopping him, they went, wow, we'll help you. And we'll get all these new martial law.
I don't know. What I heard was that there was just a missing from our government $2.3 trillion. $2.3 trillion.
Should we make it a whole episode?
No, I wouldn't mind making a whole episode, but that's not my decision. I let that be up to the powers that be.
Speaking of the powers that be,
I'll pray about it.
You got a thought about multiplex? Pray about it. I feel like that was an ironic slap in the face, but I appreciate it.
Sounds like a movie theater multiplex.
I will point out a piece of grass on the ground and piss on it and hope that helps. That helps. Is that what atheists do?
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what faithful Christians do? They also logically and efficiently work hard for an objective and a goal. They don't just pray. I think praying just appeases it when there's nothing else to do, like the expression, hope is for the helpless. Prayer is just an appeasement of feelings. Let it go.
Prayer is crazy people, because crazy people are known to talk to themselves, or imaginary sky people. Prayer is stupid.
Even atheists start praying to something when their plane suddenly starts going upside down and spinning and shit.
Nope. There are no atheists in a foxhole.
Right.
Nope.
That's what I was saying. Kind of the same thing. That was way better. You say things way better than I do, Gary.
Not really. No.
Put me in a foxhole. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Bring it on.
What kind of clothes you got on?
Got
jammy pants.
I think I just asked Gary what color panties you got on.
I know you have your pajama pants on, so that means there's zero hopping offenses. We might as well just get this out of the way now. Just say you're
I
bitching
put a
out once
second
again.
milk crate. Now I can just step right over the fence.
Oh.
Brady has a little trouble with doing the same maneuver, however, because of his little legs.
Do you know why?
He's got the
Because
little...
I have something that hangs down between my little legs that apparently you have no problems with.
My balls become load bearing just right at the midpoint.
They do become load bearing right about the midpoint.
But there's like a 4-inch.
George gets what I'm saying.
And then they become release of all load towards the end.
I got big balls, but they don't hang lower than my dick. Sorry.
Have you guys seen this image before? This is cool, isn't it?
Does it actually work? Does it actually work?
It does. It actually works. Yeah, and I tested it out.
Dude, I tried so hard to get that on film, and I
regretted.
I didn't get it on camera. I got the end afterwards. It's not.
The reaction was even better. Everybody regretted giving me anything, which usually happens anytime anybody gives me anything. The immediate regret. It was lovely.
Yeah, this. Yep, that was the end.
Do you have footage of that?
No, yeah, I missed it.
Oh, where's the footage from the party?
If we don't have the footage for the party, we can tie up our religion aspect with our competition from last week.
Oh, I want to do that
this week. Mr. Doc
there was a
Yeager,
religious competition.
279 followers. No, the one of the two people that were beating us live.
Islamic Muslims are.
I'll take our 20 followers. Our 20 followers could kick their 300 followers' asses.
I don't know. This dude's got some pretty compelling shit. He's kind of on the lines with us because I like making gay jokes, but these guys kind of take it serious. It's kind of weird.
Is it fresh and fit?
We're just doing it for ha-has.
Deeper.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, it's all humor.
Yeah, so, prepared for the coming destruction. So if you can understand what that's all about. This guy has claimed to have several premonitions. He was at a flood or a dam one time, and God told him to leave the area, and then there ended up being a flood. Like this guy, I don't know. There's some.
Can we take a moment to recognize the podium that's across?
Yeah, no, I love that.
Jesus with a giant freaking S. That's not Jesus.
Yeah.
That's Jesus.
It's fucking gangster, but
I need one of those.
This was just a breakdown of his little sermon here that is like an hour long there. But they have like 14-hour, 18-hour, 21-hour streams of this church all day. And there was literally nobody in the audience. And they're just doing music and this asshole's talking. And I just assume
those are all empty seats.
They've got a lot of fucking followers online. Nobody wants to show up in person, but do they want to watch online?
They all have perspective.
I just find this hilarious because it's just funny.
Let's hear it.
Trouble than what we realize. As we look around in our society. Now, I live, and maybe you do too as a Christian, I kind of live in my own little bubble. I live in my own little world. I really don't realize what is going on in our society. Now, I know as we go through Little Gettysburg during a certain month of the year, there's all kinds of flags that are flying,
Pride
even
Month.
from churches, which is pure abomination and perversion to God. And I was talking to the deputy sheriff just this week, matter of fact, Sunday night.
Oh, what happened?
Just a quick, I just pause it because I make gay jokes. I don't actually hate homosexuals. This is a little different.
He came to our service, and after the service, we were talking, and he was telling me, Mike, he said, did you know this community is a drawing
We should
card
get off of
to the
YouTube if we're going to
perverts?
talk about. Does this guy get pretty?
No, he says it in a very religious way, but the way he says it is hilarious because he's trying to like.
We'll try to keep
funny.
an hour on there. Try to keep
Well,
an
so
hour
this is
on
a
the gay slurs.
This is well, I think I already fixed that.
Oh yeah. For the record, I think they prefer Ploofter because it's the British way to say it. And I just kind of assume that all British people are gay.
I thought the British way of saying it was fag.
Fag is the British word for Ploofter.